Welcome back to beautiful Haulover Inlet and Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet in Miami, Florida. And here comes our first contestant to step in the ring in the first round. We're gonna have an Axopar, and my man is getting it. He is laid into those throttles. For those wondering how you drive an Axopar, you do it exactly like this. Get on the throttle, let the boat eat, and let it do its job. And this crew is easily gonna take a win for the boats here in the first round. Great way for the boats to get this episode started. After our first round, the boats wind up taking a win, and that means they get an early 1-0 advantage as we move into the second round of our contest. But here in the second round, the boats got a little trick up their sleeve as they're going to throw a sun tracker in the ring with Haulover. Yes, I know, I'm chuckling a little bit about it because I always got to laugh when I see these things rolling. Sometimes they do okay, but we'll see how this crew fares. It's a little bit of a rough day though. My man does have the throttle opened up on this a little bit, and another advantage he has, you can kind of tell when you're looking here, he's sitting in somebody's wake. So there's a boat in front of him that's kind of knocking this down, making his life a little easier, but no, they're going to venture outside of that wake, and now let's see how they fare once they do that. I got a feeling it's not going to be quite the same without having a boat knocking it down in front of you. And of course, they're pulling the patented Haulover U-turn. They were following that vessel and decided that wasn't the game plan, and there we go. We get a couple stuffings on the vessel, and man, it's going to be a rough ride back in for this crew. It is a pretty heavy following sea today. They're in a little pocket of calm right there, but as they start to enter the mouth of the inlet again, they're going to get back into some waves, and I got a feeling this crew could struggle a little bit. Another slight stuffing there. These pontoons, man, that's one of the toughest parts for them, is trying to keep that bow up. They just don't have a good way of control of doing that, and a big stuffing right there. And man, they're almost going to get this boat back up vertical. Somebody falls out of the seat. Watch as we see this here. As the boat comes up, one of the passengers winds up going down. And man, it is just an absolute mess as they try and make their way back into Haulover. But as you already know, some of the rules in this contest, if you wind up stuffing the boat, you take the loss. And well, let's be honest, they stuffed this one multiple times, but it was still a good effort when you're considering this is just a small little lake boat going out there trying to tackle Haulover. But again, Haulover's going to take the win in this round. And that's going to bring us to the third round of our competition, and we are now tied at 1 apiece. But the boats are not going to go down without a fight, as here in the third round, they're going to toss a Magnum 50 in the ring to do battle at the inlet. And typically, every time we see this boat coming through, they come through flying and just eating Haulover up. And I got a feeling today's not going to be any different. They are on the throttle, letting this boat do its thing as they come blasting toward the mouth of the inlet. This is just an incredible boat to watch. Every time we see them come through here, there's just no playing around with this thing. They just have the throttle nailed and run their way in, and they easily take a win for the boats in this round. And that's going to bring us to the fourth round of our contest. The boats have now edged up 2-1, and here in the fourth round, the boats are going to toss a Wellcraft in the ring to see if it can continue that winning streak and see if the boats can close this one out early. And here we go. Our Wellcraft is working their way out. They've got a pretty solid pace, actually. I like the running attitude they're keeping this one at. It's a rough day. Everybody's going to take a little bit of a pounding as they're coming out, but our crew here actually appears to be doing okay at this point. Well, let's switch over to the Haulover air cam and see how they do as they start to work their way out into the rollers. Again, they're doing what they got to do. I mean, there's not much you can do more than this when it gets rough. Oh no, they've lost the anchor. That's bad. The last thing you want to be doing is pounding waves with the anchor swinging around in front of the boat. I mean, this can create a very dangerous situation where an anchor even could wind up puncturing and going through the hull. But unfortunately for this crew, it looks like they're going to wind up losing the anchor. But honestly, that's probably the best case scenario, is losing it versus it sitting around there, swinging around, and possibly causing damage. But Haulover's caused its damage, and unfortunately for this crew, they're going to wind up taking a loss for the boats in this round. And that's going to bring us to the fifth and final round of our competition, and we are now tied at 2 apiece. And the boats are going to step in and toss a trawler in the ring to try and close it out. I believe this is a Ranger Tug. I'm not 100% sure. These are not my boats of expertise, but let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. But it definitely has similar lines as the Ranger Tugs do. But one of the things about a trawler and a Ranger Tug is it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare in this situation. they don't go fast. This boat is going to take it slow and easy as it works its way into the inlet, and as they say sometimes, slow and easy sometimes wins the race, and in this case I got a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen. This boat taking it at this pace should probably have no issues navigating their way into Haulover, which means that this vessel is going to wind up closing it out by taking a win for the boats, and that means the boats are going to take a win in this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out some of our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.